Hello. Yep. Shut up, man. Hello and welcome to the next game of the next match of the Fearless League. We have here Wisteria with Apoptosis. Starting with the Hunters match, we have Wisteria playing first, I believe, if I remember correctly. No, Apoptosis playing killer first? Apoptosis playing killer first. I got this. We can see the Huntress already swiftly finds the first target. We are now... Juge is in chase with Jojo, fittingly named. Both have the same letters used in the name. We can see here already some good value coming in by Juge's perks. We have the Blood Favor completely locking down this pallet, with the window being out of reach to the Huntress's hatchets. So he just has to take this down here. Very caught off guard by that Blood Favor. That is a very, very swift first down. Blood Favor is a very powerful perk. You usually don't see it because usually Blood Favor is banned. But on this map it actually has a lot of value. Here another banned perk usually. Dead Man Switch, very powerful perk, but you also have to keep in mind in the Fearless League in the first set, basically everything is allowed in the first set, meaning the survivors also have perks such as Unbreakable, Decisive Strike, Deliverance, all the good stuff. We see Juge here immediately going back to the hook, looking for the unhooker, looking for the unhooked, trying to get keep the pressure active. We can see the Undying already flying out of the window. They also know where the Blood Favor is already, I believe. Should have seen it at least. Meaning Juge here is very territorial, trying to make sure that they can't get to that totem at all. Finds another survivor. We are here now in chase with Jackal. A lot of Jace here today, honestly. Oh, missing the hatchet, however. Unfortunate. It's definitely a very dangerous thing. A lot of the time you just want to stay on these rocks. Like, the rocks are generally high enough that you can loop them against the Huntress, because she cannot throw the hatchet over the complete rock. But at the same time... wish I should have do that, but I'm not sure. At the same time, of course, the Blood Favor, the first hit makes it incredibly difficult to stay on the rocks, because the rocks don't have a window. And they connect a bit badly into windows against the Huntress, so it's a bit difficult, honestly. Blood Favor is definitely a very good choice. Painless Dead Man Switch, of course, has been meta in this game for a long time by now, and for a good reason. It's very, very strong slowdown for very low effort. All you need to do is get a wide hook, which usually a lot of the time you can do rather easily. We can see Juge has now found their target again. They have found Jojo once again. Trying to see if they can get a sneaky hatchet hit in, but no, they cannot. Are going to have to loop this rather normally, but they can get the hit on the pallet vault, getting their third down already, while the first gen pops. Definitely a very, very strong start here. Here we go. Here we see another Painless happening here. We can see finally the Blood Favor has vanished, meaning the quick down should slow down by quite a significant amount. Now the survivors do have pallets to work with again now. They don't have to be as scared of like getting two tapped just because they have no windows to work with or pallets to work with. Definitely a very strong position for Juge here. We could definitely see a 4K happening here. It will be rather difficult for the survivors to get all the gens done before the hook, before Jojo will be dead most likely. They can be tunneled out after all, even with OTR, even with Decisive Strike. Juge should be capable of doing so. We are going to see the unhook happening here, which might be a trade. No, Juge pulls up a bit too late, I believe. Is going to get the trade instead. Is not going to go after Jojo again yet. We'll probably see the Painless happening here and then going for the unhook, I believe. Yes, we will. He will be looking for a good snipe. Unfortunately, cannot get it. We can see the Deliverance happening here, I believe, from NA Steve. Very strong perk. Usually you would never see a Deliverance against the Huntress, but as I said, there's basically nothing banned yet. Juge here trying their best to get Jojo. Jojo doing quite a good job, I believe, having the OTR as well, as they appear to be completely silent. Actually, no, they cannot because they have scratch marks. Having the Iron no, why are they silent? Not OTR, because OTR would... No, it is OTR. Doesn't OTR usually hide scratch marks or a spectator bug? not? I thought it did. Our tide's always. Oh well. We see my incredibly good DVD knowledge. I'm a killer player, I'm sorry. Ah, surprise has gone there, I don't so. I thought it hit scratch marks at one point. I guess a lot of people just ran perk that had scratch marks ago without the R against me, Jesus. Oh well. I am an expert in this video. We're still in chase against Jojo here. We see 2 more gens popping by Wisteria in the background at the very least. Jojo doing an incredibly good job here, delaying the kill for as long as possible. Long enough that an ASD here can come in and take the body block to ensure that Jojo can run for even longer. Juge deciding here to reload, maybe going for the hook so he can get some deadman switch pressure in. Definitely very unfortunate situation. You can just see, like, the moment you lose that blood favor, you lose a lot of pressure. It is a very good perk, but it's also a very high risk perk. Because, well, if you lose your totems quickly, a perk is just 2 perk slots gone. We're most likely going to be looking for Jojo again here. Yes, we can find Jojo again on the bus. Are we going to see him get downed again in the same position? No, we can hear a shoulder burden, I believe, by Adam, meaning NA Steve cannot be tunneled out. We can see the bus window actually working for once. Good, very good for Jojo. If that bus window would have bugged in that moment, he would have been in an incredibly bad situation, but no. Thankfully, the bus actually not broken for once, does actually allow the wall to happen, allowing Jojo to actually make a decent bit of distance and loop the killer for a bit longer. Juge definitely in a very rough position here. He does not have much pressure to work with, and the only death hook he has is clearly doing a very good performance, chasing the killer. Here, opting to go for another chase for Sora here, maybe trying to go for somebody who is fresh. I believe Sora's not fresh. So fresh. No. I already forgot. I think Sora's not fresh actually, because then the shoulder burden doesn't make sense. Oh well, either way, we're in chase. Going to do our best. I think that could have been the snipe actually if they would have thrown it a tiny bit higher. Unfortunate. Survivors here have clearly, after their bad, rough start, have clearly locked in, are doing a really good job. We're back on the pallet where the game started. Oh, Sora unfortunately messing up a little, running into the rock and is going to get downed here, which could be very impactful, especially if that is a pain res, but unfortunately they cannot make it to a pain res in time. Are going to get hooked again. Yeah, actually hooked again. Now the hunters most likely will just want to try to camp this out, secure that 1k8. Not a horrible result, honestly. 8 stages, 4 freshes. Pretty good for our hunters, but it is still, in this rule set, it is still very possible for a killer to do an even stronger performance. Yes, the survivors are in fact leaving. I doubt Jackal is going to come here by himself. Yes, they will just leave. They will just take the leave and are going to just accept the fact 8 stages, 4 fresh for Apoptosis in the first set. First match. First game. First game. Oh. If Wisteria can beat this performance, we will see. After the intermission, it will have a lot of interplay. And here we are again with the next match. We now have Shua playing for for Wisteria as the killer. The win condition being 9 stages or, well, yeah, 9 stages. The fresh are 4, so nothing to do there. We will see if they can get the same kind of performance. We can see their perks already. They opted for a more slower build. They are running corrupt, no way out, no Deadman switch, no blood favor. Very passive build, honestly. We'll see if that works out for them. They do have to get 9 stages. That is very difficult to do as hunters generally, in my opinion. They have already spotted N, I believe, moving about, but cannot see where exactly they went. But they have spotted Danok now on that pallet, opting to not go for it though. I guess they want an easier pick, or just didn't see that one. Nope, they didn't see that though. The survivors here have opted to be stealthy on one side while going for the gens on the other side. Going for a snipe, unfortunately not working out, twice dying and just runs straight ahead. Instantly pre-drops the pallet, almost gets sniped over the crane, but unfortunately doesn't get the hit. Is going to just have to keep running, avoiding the hits. Yep. Okay. Well, a bit obvious on my side. Shua here getting a good hatchet hit in is going to do the best, zoning twice, dying before they can make anything, and is going to snipe them right as they would want to go around the corner for the first down of the game. Definitely a slower down than what we had in the first game, but you have to keep in mind the previous down was extremely fast with the blood favor, so this is still a rather impressive quick down, I believe, for hunters. Sure, yep, thank you. Sure, here looking out, like trying to figure out what roughly the survivors are doing right about now. Might want to opt to just camp it out. They have to get 9 stages, meaning they want to probably get 2 deaths and then camp somebody out in the end. But that is decently difficult to get. Just trying to make sure that no unhook can happen right now. Not much else to do, just being very campy. Not much to say, honestly. We can see, but in the background, all the survivors are getting a little bit more action. They're popping 2 gens at the same time, putting Shua here in a bit more pressure. Maybe opting to not actually save twice dying before the second stage. It is a Huntress camping after all. Hunters can, a lot of the times, deny a trade. The Hunters can 2-tap very efficiently, a lot of the times fast enough that you cannot actually get the unhook in her face. She's a very lethal killer when she's camping, which is why she's one of the killers that got hurt very badly by the fact that camping got nerfed twice. With the anti-camp, with the longer hook stages. Very painful for her. We can see now that the hook stage has passed, she opts to go look for a different chase, is going to see if she can get a sneaky snipe here on the ace. But no, unfortunately not. The survivors are popping another gen, meaning the Huntress is still in a different position. There's 2 more gens to go, but she still needs to get 7 more stages. That is definitely a lot of pressure on her perks here. The no way out and the no-ad are going to have to do a lot to get those 9 stages. It's definitely not an easy situation to be in. But honestly, there's also not much they can be more aggressive for. They need to be safe, they need this kill, they need to get a trade or something. They cannot leave the soak. They're also like making sure that the gens are not being progressed on right about now. It appears that the survivors are just going to give up on twice dying, are just going to let them die on the hook. A whole 140 seconds just spent dying on the hook, but we can see the survivors are going to go and pop the shack generator, I believe. Are going to get it in time. Unfortunately, Fern does manage to dodge the hatchet. It's not going to be downed before the survivors can now see, oh no, there's a no-ad. They pop the no-way out. They're going to try their best. It might genuinely be possible that the Hunters can get both of the downs here, and if they can force N out, they might actually be able to get this. It's going to be very difficult. The survivors are going to drop all pellets they can. They're going to hold W as best they can. They're going to go for an attempted corner. They are going to get downed, however. This is a very difficult position for the survivors now. the last survivor, even if they manage to leave, will still lose them the game. After all, the goal is 9 stages. Meaning that the last survivor needs to go for one of the 2 pickups. They cannot actually leave. Sure, here trying to pay attention if they are trying to leave. But no, they are most likely sneaking about somewhere ready to get the pickup. Definitely a very, very difficult survivors here situation here for N. We can maybe quickly look what N is doing in the meanwhile. N is just stealthing at the edge, probably trying to just buy as much time as possible for the survivors to split up a little bit. Oh, the Huntress has opted to actually pick up Fern here. Are most likely going to try to put them in the basement. No? No, they're going to take the hook further towards the slug, making sure these 2 survivors cannot separate from each other, and are maybe going to get spotted. No, they're gonna keep stealthing. The Huntress has no idea where they are, but are going to get found now. Yes, they were found peeking around the corner, are going to get down by the know it for the 4K0, meaning Wisteria will take the set. I believe I don't think anything the survivors can use to change that result. Even if Danok would be able to get the hedge escape, it does not make a difference, as the Huntress only needs 9 stages. They don't have any way to pick themselves up, they don't have any way to unhook themselves, and he doesn't have any way to unhook himself either. So yes, all the Huntress has to do now is ensure that Danok does not manage to escape the grasp and get an unhook. Very easy situation, honestly. All they need to do is wait. This should be the 4K0 guaranteed. Just going to be a bit boring. Sure, I believe opting to not look for the Ada, like making sure that the Ada wouldn't have, like, it's still possible that the Ada is unbreakable, probably doesn't want to take the risk to leave one of the hooks just to get unbreakable and losing this, so they're just going to be very, very extremely careful. Reloading, because you're not missing any patches. Not much going on here. I don't know what else I can cast here. We're just waiting right now. There's nothing to say about it. Will you see them going for the Ada now? I don't know if they have hooks though. Are going for the Ada now. Are going to pick them up. Are going to. Actually, yeah, they have a hook. Okay. Maybe they were afraid of the Liboins? I don't know. Oh yeah, that's definitely the guaranteed 4K0 now. Nothing else can happen. 4K0. There's another way to unhook himself, we checked that already. Meaning this first set goes to Wisteria. And we will see if Apoptosis can recover from this in the next set. The next set being Nemesis, I believe, on Father's Campbell's Chapel. FCC. Playing out the hedges. Hedges are fun. Well, I'll already be going into the intermission because honestly it's quite awkward to just keep talking like this because there's really just nothing going on. We'll see each other after this game. With Wisteria playing Nemesis. See you then. And there we are again with the next set. We have Wisteria on the killer again. Sure, again playing Nemesis this time. Unfortunately on Chapel. Chapel is one of my most hated maps in this game. Which I'm not excited about. I'm still tempted to just change out that map, but a lot of people just use Chapel for killers like Nemesis, so it's just very normal. Oh, twice dying here. Falling for a simple mind game, not paying attention to where the killer is actually going, is going to get whipped quickly 2 times in a row. I believe we also saw Yonder there around the corner. Unfortunately, not using the tentacle before the pallet drop, allowing Twice dying to stay up for a little bit longer, baiting out the fact that they are going to double back, but the killer did not realize the fact that it was a bait. Do actually fall for it and are going to have to take. Are going to get quite a lot of distance, but unfortunately they try to drop the pallet, but are too close to the Nemesis, so are just going to get down and are going to get hooked in the basement already. Also, they have lethal. I didn't see the lethal at the start. Is lethal bug for spectators? Or was I blind? I do not know. Maybe I checked maybe I switched to spectator too late to see the lethal, but I don't think I did, so it's a bit strange. Oh well. There was a very quick down for Shura here. Very bad situation for Apoptosis to be in here. They already have a down against Nemesis. Nemesis usually being a killer who is the weakest at the start, because he needs to get that tier 2 in before they can actually play around pallets well. Meaning definitely a very, very bad situation to be in. They're just going to patrol this basement now, not going to let any unhook happen if possible. And if an unhook does happen, then oh well, they can take the trade, they're gonna be in a good situation. They might even get eruption value in. Definitely seeing very camp focused gameplay today, but that's just kinda what happens when the killer is not under like that much pressure. They are just allowed to just camp this out right now. There's just, the gens are going to start popping now, but it just doesn't matter enough for the killer to actually have to leave it. Going to see 2 gens popping, 3 gens popping by Apoptosis here, while Nia passes to the second stage. Meaning the killer is going to start to have to move around a little bit and put some pressure on these gens to make sure that Twice dying will actually die before the last gen pops, because otherwise it would be a very, very difficult situation for sure here. If they manage to get an unhook, then they're going to have to do quite a lot to recover from that. They do have a pretty good 3-gen here right about now, so naturally they don't want to leave this basement hook whatsoever. Twice dying, I believe, was also the survivor that died on hook last game. So very unfortunate for them. They're just going to have to spend 2 games in a row getting down decently quickly and then just being camped out the entire game. Twice dying is not having a good day. We can see here it doesn't appear like any survivor is going to go for the unhook. They are just going to let Twice dying die once again. Are just going to try to get as much gen pressure in while they die for free. Killer now, of course, can no longer camp a hook. They are now going to actually have to go for a chase. Yonder here doing a good job to bait the killer a little bit, to waste a bit more time, but are going to unfortunately get hit by the tentacle in the end. They are going. Shua is going to go look for the Ada though here though, that was also around, is going to try to get a hit on them as well. We're going to see some finesse value happening here, allowing the Ada to get a little bit more distance. Is probably going to be able to avoid his tentacle hit thanks to that. Going to see, oh, there is a zombie on the main generator, but they do have a flashlight. They did light the zombie. They're going to have a bit of more time. Actually, I believe they used the firecracker because there was a sound notification when the zombie got blinded. Yes, they do in fact not have a flashlight. They did use the firecracker to blind that zombie. Are going to try to double vault the window here to avoid the tentacle hit, but are just not going to make it in time. Are going to have to take that hit. We can see another gen popping in the background. Difficult situation for Shua here to be in. They are They just now have their second down of the game, even if they already have a kill. But I'll do one generator left, meaning they'll have to do quite a bit to retain the situation. I believe they are going to try. Yeah, they are going to try to get the hook right next to the generator to just be able to camp that gen out. That gen being incredibly high percentages, but the survivors just will not be able to do anything about it. Going to kick it after the eruption is over. Yes. Definitely difficult situation here for the survivors to be in. They're still a pretty decent 3 gen, and the only gen they have high percent is the one that they just cannot work on right now, because it's right next to a hook. But the Nemesis has opted to leave that hook, meaning the survivors might get a chance for it. Sure, here faking the tentacle, not going to take that risk, is going to just slowly walk off after Yonder. Is going to try to get this down quickly. They're gonna need to get it decently quickly. That gen is still high percentage. They need to get that eruption value, and Yonder is just going to try to run for as long as possible, not get downed before the eruption happens. But they are going to get downed now. The generator, however, did pop before that, so the survivors are good. They're going to get another hook on Yonder here, who is fresh. Are most likely going to put them in the basement and just going to camp it out once again for the presumably 2k7, which is a normal result for Nemesis, honestly. Yep, the survivors are just going to take their leave. Are going to leave Yonder to die for the 2k7. Not a bad result at all, honestly. If Apoptosis can top this, we will see in the next match. We will be right back after intermission. We're PR 100, godman. And here we are again with the next set. We have the Nemesis set here now again. Well, not the next set, the next game. There we go. We now have Juge on the Nemesis with a very hex-focused build. Crowd control, Devour Hope, Full of the Hunt, and Haunted Grounds. We can also see the survivors by now are starting to lack more perks. I forgot to look at that the last game. They survive. It's always fun to show off. Ooh, Juge already starting to chase a bit roughly. Missing their first tentacle strike right away, which might cost them a bit dearly, but they should be getting it back now. No, unfortunately not. Pure here does an incredibly good job dodging the tentacle and dropping the pellet on the killer's face instead, making a lot of difference with the distance off of that. Are going to just pre-drop the next pellet. Definitely very difficult situation to be in. Are going to miss another tentacle strike. Clearly not in the best position today to be playing the Nemesis. Are going to take the window vault and block it due to crowd control, meaning that the main building is now severely weaker. We now have these three main building windows completely blocked. Honestly insane. Juge opts to instead leave the chase and go for somebody else instead. Clearly Pew is a bit too difficult to chase. Are going to lose an entire gen to that chase with Pew though. As well as the fact you need to keep in mind that quite a lot of other gen progress has happened in that time. So Pew here is in a very, very difficult situation. Sure here dropping the pallet should be getting hit by the tentacle strike, but Juge really just not having the best day, not having the luckiest day, is just missing a lot of those tentacle strikes. But Chua does make it to the main building that just doesn't have anything right now. That the zombie just blanking out, stopping right before the hit would have happened. The zombies here would have actually assisted in 3-tapping Shua to a down. Unfortunately, that one zombie was just a traitor and decided to just stop right before it, leading to the fact that Shua does actually make it for a bit more distance, but is going to get down now at 3 gens, unfortunately, meaning Juge cannot afford to do another play like Wisteria did. Is not just going to be able to camp it out for a good result. They are going to have to do a lot. They're going to need to get some good chases, maybe get some haunted ground value into Devour Hope value. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to do much here. Oh god. But the survivors here are in a quite comfortable position. There's a lot of windows on this map, meaning crowd control cannot block all of them. Meaning they do not really have to cleanse that totem, and they do not know exactly what the other 3 totems are yet. They maybe have touched a totem to know what Thrill is, but other than that, they do not know yet. We can see Jay is going to take the killer into the main building. That is very difficult to chase due to the fact that it has elevation. Nemesis just doesn't deal with elevation well. The unhook on Shua happens. Juge immediately opts to go back to the unhook, is going to try to tunnel them out, and is going to try... Shua is maybe going for a flip-flop power struggle here. I believe they did have it. Almost fuck up the hack though. The zombie actually coming in clutch though, blocking the pallet, meaning even if somebody would have wanted to come for the pallet save, they would have not been able to. So the Juge is allowed to do the pickup early and just avoid the flip-flop power struggle that Shua presumably had. We can take a quick look if they did. Yes, they did in fact have flip-flop power struggle. That zombie there redeeming herself for the fuck up she had earlier. That is why we love zombies. Zombies are incredibly high RNG. They can do absolutely nothing in the game. They can even body block you sometimes, but sometimes they can also be helpful and completely shut down survivors, like contributing a hit here, preventing a pilot save, and so on. Juge here having difficulties using the tentacle against Olive, is going to opt to go for an M1 chase again instead, is in fact going to get the down like this, and going to get their 3rd down of the game right about now. Yep. The survivors however have popped another generator, meaning there's only 1 more to go, and Juge is still needing at least 4 more stages to get a tie-in. We see the last generator of the game popping here, meaning they're under a lot of pressure right about now to get at least 1 more down. but we can see the survivors are going for the unhook on Olive here. They are going to get it. Just very, very difficult situation to be in. We can see the killer does not have any Devour stacks, meaning that is not going to help him either. They're going to go down pure on Fend now. Which I believe is actually worth 3 stages still. Is it? Yeah, they are. Meaning they can actually tie the result here. If they will choose to do so or not, we will see though. No, they are going to try to go for more. They are going to try they're going to try to get the win instead. Unfortunately, cannot do it. Pure is not able to make it anywhere, meaning they are going to get hooked. They are going to die for the 2k7. 7 stages, 3 fresh, meaning they tie the skip match. Meaning this is a match that will have to be this set will have to be replayed later if we do not have a clear winner by set 4. Which is a bit unfortunate, but oh well. Okay, intermission time. Wait. Oopsie. Here we are again now with the night set. God, that is very grey, excuse me. There we go. Forgot about my filters. Yep, we are now back on the night set. Yonder here playing on the night. There were first game, meaning there's no win condition yet, thankfully. I don't think I've ever seen a night in competitive, so I have no clue how this will be going. We can already see some spectator stuff going on, because we can see the survivors while a guard is being placed. We will see here, Shua actually ends up being chased by a guard here. He's going to have to take the hit because they just cannot avoid being hit by Yonder otherwise, which is very unfortunate for them. I don't think they are in a situation to get out of this unless they do a really sneaky play right about now. No, they are going to get discovered by another guard and are just going to have to get down. Very unfortunate for them there. Yonder already showing off that they are in fact the P100 Knights. They do know how to chase it. I have no clue how to do it, so I can't say much about Knight, honestly. Knight is one of my least favorite players in the game, so always. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Also, I have to talk with this guy. Wumi remind me after the game. One of them is restreaming and it doesn't have a delay in it. Here we can already see though, first hook has already happened. Survivor has been found by a guard, is going to have to take the hit from the Knight. Oh, they are going to try to double back on the Knights, but no, unfortunately, not much they can do. The guard is coming in, they are going to get spotted, so they're just going to have to maybe take one more window vault. Yes, Knight actually does swing though, giving the survivors quite a bit more distance. It was unfortunately an assassin, meaning the chase is already over. Is going to drop another guard that unfortunately does not find the chase. But this guard is going to find a chase, and NAC is going to have to take it down here for the second down of the game before any gen has popped still. Very fast downs for a Knight, I believe. Here we can just see now some rather normal Knight action going on, pressuring the generator as well, also trying to get a guard chase in. Hunted is going to immediately disable his jailer again, so he is back just a tiny bit faster. Is going to go back to the hook, is going to prevent the heal from happening. Is not going to find any sort. Oh, is going to find NASD running away. The guard does find him, spot him just probably at the very last moment. Is going to try to make as much distance as he can, but no, he does not have any. Sawa comes in to take the hit. He's going to eat the jailer hit, so NA Steve can just be up in the chase for a little bit longer. The generator has also popped 25 seconds ago that I forgot to mention. Shua also here to take another hit for NA Steve. They're just taking a lot of hits. They do not want NA Steve to be the next down. Really desperate for it. NA Steve is going to try to run away from this tile to avoid the night guard, but unfortunately just get caught at the very edge of the detection radius. Is just going to run and is going to have to take the down, I believe now. I don't think they can make it anyway. Yeah, they do not have the window here. They are not going to make the pallet. They are just going to get downed here for their presumably second hook on the game, unless there's going to be a save. No, there will not. Second hook for Yonder. And we can also take a quick look at the perks here. We have, for example, here Jay with only awakened awareness. Shua has made for this desperate measures. Soa actually does have a full build, and NA Steve here also just with 2 perks that do nothing for him in the chase. We are getting into the later sets of the Fearless rule set, meaning there's just going to be less and less perks. The killers are, however, doing pretty well with their perks. Still having 4 perks is pretty good by set 3. There are a lot of strong perks you can bring on killer, however, so it actually has been quite common for killers to have full builds so far. That's fine, it's awakened awareness now. We're going to see Sora is going to go for the unhook. Rumi is criticizing me in the background, who you cannot hear. Sora gets the trade, it's just going to try to let NASD stay in the game for a little bit longer. They cannot afford to let him die on that hook just yet. Is going to try to find NA Steve on the shack here, but I believe no, NA Steve has stayed in the shack, has tried to stealth it, is going to get downed here by the assassin, I believe was, I think that was Jay, actually, never mind. Is going to have to take that death. Jay was here, presumably for the pallet save, but didn't get there in time. Meaning NA Steve is going to get hooked again, and is going to be the first kill of the game. Meanwhile, Jay is going to go for the unhook. Does get the unhook. The guard, sadly a bit misplaced, is not going to find a survivor. He is going to find Sora, however, trying to run away. Is going to try to get another hunt on Sora. Unfortunately, cannot get it. Jay is still here to block all the hunts that can happen. Is going to take the hit as well. Yonder opts to go for Jay instead. Is going to actually juke the killer quite well here. Yonder did not hear it well, apparently. Is going to try to do it again. Unfortunately, fails this time. Is going to get into a hunt. Is most likely going to have to take the down. Yes. Shua cannot do anything about it. Shua is just going to have to run away. But it's so weird, like, seeing like, we can see the knight plays his guard. We can still see the survivors, but the knight cannot see the survivors. For anybody who isn't sure right now, he is basically spirit phasing. He cannot see anything. The survivors here still in a rough position. They still have to finish 2 more generators, but meanwhile all of the survivors have already been hooked at least once. Shua is still in chase. Sora is still injured. Meaning not much to do. The guard naturally getting a bit confused, going into the wrong direction. We love the night guards just doing that. They do not like the pallets when they're dropped. They are capable of phasing 2 pallets. They just like to really not do it. Yonder is going to try to place another guard, is going to not get the detection, sadly, unfortunately. Shua is going to make quite a bit more distance. Yonder does not predict right in which direction Shua is going. Shua is going to be able to make quite a bit of distance, but I think they also tried double backing to avoid the guard. So they also wasted quite a bit of distance again. Are going to get detected here, and most likely going to get downed in a short moment here. They do only have this weak pallet, not much they can do against the knight there. Are going to get downed for their second down of the game. Survivors are in a very difficult position right now. There is still Gift of Pain inactive. There is still leverage. They had to spend a lot of time healing after unhooks. They cannot pop gens in a row because of deadlock. They are most likely going to see the 4K here. I am going to have to take a sip of water, but there's not much going on right now. Oh, we can see a guard being placed on Jay directly here on the shack pallet. Going to start a hunt immediately. Jay trying to waste as much time as possible to not allow the knight to get the hit earlier than they should, but are going to end up in a difficult position here now because they are going to get hit by the guard and are going to get 2-tapped. That is why you cannot avoid the guard until the very last moment, because if the knight is right next to them, you just get hit by the guard and immediately after by the knight. You need to at some point just like realize, okay, I'm going to get hit here. I need to run into the guard. Very, very unfortunate to play against this killer, honestly. The killer here still in a very comfortable position. There is not a huge amount of gen pressure on anywhere. We can hear Boone in the main building. We see another unhook happening here. Shua and Jay are still doing a lot of gens. Shua does finally manage to break their wretched fate, meaning they can finally do gens at a decent speed again. But they are, due to breaking it, they are going to be immediately found by the killer, going to be in another chase, and are going to be in a difficult situation here. Because they are not be able to avoid this guard. They don't have anything to ensure that they're not downed by the guard, meaning they're just going to have to go for the corner, are just going to have to go for take the down, and are going to just have to take the death. Are we going to see the Maui here? No, the killer does not realize he has a Maui. Bit of a thing we realize. We added a Mori just for the fun of it, because we have chest perks allowed in this round. There are chest perks allowed, there's a bit of specific rules against them. So you cannot take out a randomly generated item out of a chest, but you can open the chest to activate perks. You can take guaranteed items like the pharmacy medkit out of it. But because of that, we cannot bring a corrupted coin for the killer, meaning they are bringing an Ebony Mori. But they do not seem to use it. We can see here the Ignite is focusing on protecting the generators right about now. They do not want any more to pop. They are in a very comfortable position to get the 4K2 after all. We do not know where the survivors are. We can maybe take a quick peek. We can see Jay is on the shack and Sora was stealthing next to the generator that Knight was checking on. Going to go check on the shack generator, is going to find out that somebody was in fact working on it, that generator has too much progress, is going to go check on it and try to see if they can find the survivor that was on it. We can see Jay in the distance here, but the Knight unfortunately doesn't. I believe they did see scratch marks. No, they did not. They're just not going to be able. The survivors here are doing a very good stealthing, avoiding, like, using the fact that the Knight cannot see them while he's taking guard. But unfortunately gets found while stealthing there, is going to, I believe, take a Knight chase now. Guard chase now. No? Yes, they are already injured, meaning they are going to be downed by them as well in a short moment. Maybe Sora can get that last generator done before that happens. We can take a quick look. Yes, they should be able to, unless... No, the Knight should be able to make that, actually. The Knight Guards can, in fact, do a kick action while the survivor is still on the generator, meaning he can interrupt this and force the survivor off of it, meaning Sora cannot finish that generator. He's going to have to just get chased. But we do, in fact, have the exponential active, yes. We can see that, meaning Jay can try to crawl over to the main building and recover fully using exponential, which might give them the chance to finish another generator. We don't know. Sora unfortunately gets downed a bit too quickly for that to happen, however, I believe. Even if Jay manages to pick themselves up, the Knight will most likely be able to find them. Yes, unfortunately they get found immediately. Are going to recover right during the pickup animation, confusing the Knight for a moment. Are not going to be able to make it to the pallet, unfortunately. This is going to be the 4K2 for Yonder here. Very well played. If Wisteria can match this, reach the 4K3 and still win this without having to do the tiebreaker, we will see after this match. After the intermission, that's the word. There we go. Here we are again on the next night set. We have another P100 knight actually, meaning killer should be evenly matched. They do not have a killer main advantage this time. We're going to quickly look at the builds. We have 3 perks here, 3 perks here, 2 builds here, and a full perk build here. And have already found a totem as well. Unfortunately, the killer is in fact going to go check up on a totem, is going to find Juge on it, and is going to start the first chase of the game right about now. Juge should not have anything to really prevent this hit from happening. Yes, they are going to have to get hit by it. Are going to try to go for the pallet. Sure, doing their best to make sure they going to get into another hunt. Is going to leave them. Fern came over to take the guard, but Juge was honestly fine. Sure did not have any interest in downing Sure just yet. A bit unsure who they actually want to chase, if they actually want to protect that totem or if they want to stay in chase. Are still opting to protect the totem. Unfortunately, I don't think any survivor is going to get on it right about now, unless the killer is actually far away. I mean, they are probably like wasting quite a bit of time on it. They do at least have surveillance together with Win, meaning they can very well know what gen survivors are on at all times, which is an incredibly powerful combination. Danok here opting to stun the killer with the pallet, running into the killer to stun them. Shua was turned to the side to get a bit of value in from there. Danok unfortunately going to have to take the hit. Oh! Are going to take the hit, drop the pallet before getting found by the guard, meaning they are going to immediately get forced into a chase. Are going to drop the shack pallet and are just not able to do anything, vaulting right into the killer and getting down for the first down of the game. Well, also the first gen of the game, of course. The survivors are, however, still in an incredibly comfortable position. All they need to get is 3 generators done, and they have the Tycon 2 generators for the win. 4 generators for the win con, meaning all they need are 3 more generators, which shouldn't be that difficult to do. Knight is going to, I think, focus here on trying to just leave a survivor in chase with a guard, while trying to just get in as much ruin value as possible. Checking up, making sure nobody gets on that ruin. Incredibly helpful hex here after all. Very unfortunate that the survivors practically spawned directly on it. We're going to see scratch marks in the back. Yep. We're going to see a couple scratch marks. The survivors are going to go for the save. Placing another guard on Juge here, going to get the hit, going to, I believe, actually going to get the down. No, they're going to not go for Juge, however, they're going to stay on Danok, are going to try to tunnel Danok out of the game. I don't think Danok makes anything in time, actually no they do, but, oh, that wasn't dropped already. Okay, yeah, Shua also was not aware that was already dropped, otherwise they could have stopped that from happening using a guard. Unfortunate, are going to get the down decently quickly though. Gen has already popped, however, meaning Shua now has to win this game, has to 4K in this position, is not allowed to lose any more generators, which is just going to be very difficult. The survivors are not in that much of a pressure, they have 2 healthy survivors, 1 injured survivor. He is, however, going to chase both healthy survivors of a generator right about now, meaning the only survivor there's no survivor currently free to go for the unhook. N is going to get hit here by the guard. It's going to have to take that deep wound, which is going to waste even more time. Shua is going to place another guard, trying to stop Fern. Fern is going to get the tech, however. Fern is going to get downed here. Danok is still on the hook. Juge is going to have to go for it. But maybe, yes, I was about to say, maybe they would want to try to finish the generator instead. No, they opt to unhook Danok. Shua went from a very difficult position to win this into a position where winning this is actually going to be possible. They have 3 people injured, they still have the ruin active. They still have surveillance to figure out when survivors get back on a generator. I believe, yeah, they have had to hurt a survivor just now there. Have spotted N going towards the shack. It's going to place a guard. The guard, unfortunately, not quite far enough to detect N. Does actually detect N through the window, however. through the boarded up window. They're going to get detected. Is going to run into the basement. I don't think Wicked is still allowed at this point. No, it is not. And is just going to try to waste as much time as possible. Is going to get hooked in the basement here. The survivors here are still in a decently difficult position. They still have 2 people injured. 1 person maybe on gens. But they are still very safe. All they need to do to win this is finish 2 generators. They do not need to get a single survivor out. If they can get one out, even better of course, but survivors are going to try to heal up here behind the hill. On top of the hill. Never mind, they were not trying to heal up. Are going to get found by a guard here. Going to be the double down, meaning Danok is going to have to go for the unhook or go for the pickup right about now. We can see Danok was on a generator, but is going to opt to go for the stealth for the unhook. We can also see that their battery, their flashlight has already all been used up. I guess they used quite a bit of their Champion of Light value to just move a bit faster without having to walk everywhere. They're actually gonna be 4K3, goddamn. Fun fact, we have actually been asked to buff the Knight a little for this tournament. They did actually request for us to unban the iridescent banner, not these teams, a different team. We opted to wait for it until the match is done. So far it seems like the iridescent banner will remain banned, considering the Knight so far has done pretty well in this tournament, clearly. We are seeing we did see a 4K3, a 2 for the first game. We're seeing a potential 4K3 for this game. Danok here very scared, just trying to do their best to stealth somewhere, do something. Fern is going to have to go, or N is going to have to die in the basement. Fern is most likely going to get camped to death. The generators are all regressing to 0 right about now, meaning this is most likely going to be the 4K3. Take another look at the killer. And the killer is going around just checking on his generators, making sure that nobody gets onto any of them. But even if Danok would opt to go for a generator here, the killer would immediately know that is the value of surveillance ruin. Meaning he just has to go find Juge again, going to have to hook him, and then just wait to see one of those generators light up yellow, and he will be perfectly fine. Take another look here really quickly. We can see Ada is still stealthing, still trying to go for the pickup it seems, but just has to be very careful, because if they get found, it is going to be game over basically. If they can get the pickup without being found, they're going to be in a pretty decent situation here to maybe finish one more generator if one more good chase happens. Which would be the tie con. And having a double tie would also be a bit unfortunate for a while. We can see Shua here is still just looking for the Ada. Just really nothing going on right about now. Just really very, very heavy stealth gameplay happening right now from the survivors. Both Juge and Danok are doing their best not to be found. Maybe thinking about going for a hatch play, but I hope they are aware. The hatch does not make a difference here. The hatch will count as a 4K3. The hatch is only counted as an escape if all 5 generators have been completed. Are we going to see Ada actually go for the pickup? No, they opt to not go for the pickup. Ada is not going to have enough time to do so either. Meaning this is really going to have to be the 4K3. Guaranteed basically at this point. Yes, Juge bleeds out on the ground. The hatch is immediately closed. Ada is going to keep stealthing, But at this point, the match is decided. Even if Ada manages to escape through the gate here, it counts as a hedge escape. Hedge escapes count as a kill unless all 5 generators have been completed. So this is the guaranteed 4k3 for Wisteria here. Hello. One of you unmuted. Was that an accident? Okay. What's going on there? No, I don't like it really. Ada just trying to waste as much time as possible. Maybe get the hedge gate escape, but just doesn't matter. What? Umi, you're cutting. Yes, cleanse the ruin for the big valley right about now. Tanok is going to be found here by the guard again. He is going to just get down guaranteed here. Is going to get mowed. But the fact that it was a 4k3 we already knew. So. This is now the second set won by Wisteria, meaning there is one more set to go, the Skull Merchant set. Which will be interesting to see, because I have also never seen a Skull Merchant set. And the Knight set clearly surprised me, so that might be interesting. How that will go, we will see after the intermission. Woo! Okay, so quick update, it was an oversight by me. The current score is 2-0 in set 3, meaning there is no more way for Apoptosis to win this. Because even if they win this set, it will be 2-1. 2-1 means there's a winner, meaning the Nemesis tie does not have to be replayed, meaning Wisteria wins this. That was my mistake, I forgot about that. So this is the end. They do want to one of the teams does want to play it, the other team does not, so They're still discussing right now. If they do actually want to, we might play the Skull Merchant set, but it appears that they don't want to. Play just us. Wisteria was. Okay. Okay. Apparently, well, that's what we're doing now. Okay, let me text box on screen. So Wisteria wants to play the Skull Merchant set really badly, so they are going to play it against themselves, meaning we will have a single Skull Merchant set. What? Okay, we'll be going to a mission again though. We will be apparently playing Wisteria against Wisteria show match now. Neat. Here we are again with a Skull Merchant show match. They have decided to just play at Perkless for some reason. They wanted me to cast this for some reason. I guess they just wanted to have it as a show match. We have Chua on up from Wisteria, and then 3 survivors from Wisteria, and Angel from Apoptosis, because they just really wanted to play this one as well. Don't know why. It's just like generally people really dislike playing against Skull Merchant, but Angel just is, I guess, built different. They just really want it. We can see some interesting drone placement. I guess the the killer worked quite hard before to learn good. Oh. Come on! Okay, we have a 3v1 now! We have realized that the Skull Merchant is an incredibly weak killer and decided to make us stronger, I guess. Why? Oh, okay. Angel got shot down by easy anti-cheat. Great. Also, I forgot to unmute Fumi.
Oh, really?
Oopsie. Oh, we don't need you. Can shut all of this down.
Oh, okay, it's okay.
So chat, how are you doing? With the 3-minute delay. How are you doing, Wumi? I need to wait for chat to reply after 3 minutes, so you need to talk to me. No, we're just gonna get the mission. Here we are again with the Wumi that should actually be hearable this time. We're going to be playing the show match again. This time hopefully without Angel crashing to the easy anti-cheat being mean.
Maybe if he crash again, I can take his spot.
Wumi's just going to play. What is wrong with you all? Why do you want to play against the Skull Merchant?
Oh, no, no, I'm just tired.
Go sleep.
Time drones placements. Again, every time on the stairs.
I don't know why it's on the stairs. I guess it's because if they get a basement hook, it's more effective. I don't think it makes a
Well-
difference other than that.
I noticed that the beam managed to go up, like way more up. So it actually reaches the little road you have to get on the main gen.
Do you mean the one in main building?
Yeah, the one on main
Yeah,
building.
that one is high enough that it can, like, it can hit survivors down, and as well as the ones that are going up through the window. That
And I
one is
guess that
actually
the
really
one-
good placement.
Yeah, and I guess that the,
Oh,
yeah, the one on
sneaky
the
scan
basement
there.
can hit below the planes.
I don't know what really to say. Just, you know, skull merchant gameplay. Ah, nice. We see the third scan happening here against Crank staring. Whatever the fuck that name is. Meaning they now have the claw trap on them and are injured. Which is going to be pretty difficult. They're also going to, even if they go for the window up there, are going to get scanned again, which gives them the hindert effect, meaning I don't think they can fast hold this. Shua unfortunately swinging into the window frame, however, not getting the down. Might have been a typical moment of the auto aim screwing them over. Going to get scanned again here, going to get hindered again, and are just going to get down for the first down of the game. I don't no longer have to take care of the score, at least. That's so good. It's
Yeah,
so
really.
painful to take care of the
Probably
score when you only have 2 screens. Because I need to see the game, I need to see OBS. I can't have the score open on my screen. I did write the score myself, however, so I can add hotkeys. Maybe I should do that.
Can help, yeah.
Maybe I can do something. Maybe I can write a phone app to control it from my phone. Ah. Imagine.
And in the meantime, they managed to do the mid-gen on the street. Oh, very nice turn coming for Steve. But the drone. Yeah, that's it, the drone. You got 2 beams on Steve though. One more and he's gonna be injured.
2? Just
Yeah, 2.
yeah. That's how Skull Merchant works. Good job. Oh, we cannot actually see
Yeah.
the scan progress from that POV, such.
Yeah, unfortunately. Steve making his way to the gallows gen. Not disabling the drones for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, it does not.
The drones going left, right, left, right.
Is it my filters
Oh!
or are these colored differently? No, yeah. Aren't they usually orange?
No, not that much.
What they usually orange, like I don't think whether that yellow for killer POV or is that just spectator things? I have not played against a Skull Merchant as Survivor in really quite a while, so I think you usually see the aura side more of your own drone, so you usually don't see them actually being yellow. I think you usually see them being white. I think that's why I'm being confused by the color.
Oh,
No, no,
Virgins.
Other chase. Is this one fully scanned though? No.
No, but I think he's one scan
Yeah,
away
he
from the...
yeah, he was already scanned when the chase started, so. No, unfortunately not going to get that.
The drone is too far away.
Yeah, that's why Skull Merchant is like so bad, like you cannot force that scan at all. Oh, I'm going to get the scan through the broken window though. To the boarded up window gets the scan and does injure Angel here.
Yeah, he didn't lie. That's a good placement. And he wanted to prove it so bad.
That's why they really wanted to play the set. They have actually made quite a bit of research on how to play Skull Merchant on this map.
There's already not that much people who play Skull Merchant, so to know those spots.
It's actually quite impressive, yeah. What?
I might try that the next time I play Skull Merchant.
Next time you play Skull Merchant, which is when? Never? You got them
If I
unknown addict?
do, if I do a streak, a random one.
Skull Merchant streak?
Yeah.
Why do you hate yourself? I know you're French, but you know.
And back to the game where we see Steve hitting Angel and Jay getting hit.
It's a coast for some casual races in there, so it's competitive, you know.
Yeah. I know. Already
Ah!
Tuscan and Jay. Doesn't matter, it's gonna go down anyway.
We see another back generator back popping there in the background, meaning only one more generator left, but we do also have the first kill of the game. It is going to be a difficult position though. There is no tree gen whatsoever, and they do not have any regression or blocking perks, meaning these gens are going to be incredibly difficult to stop. We can see the Nia dropping right next into the Skull Merchant. Angel, a player from Apoptosis who just really wanted to play this set, just trying to do their best. Going to get scanned once again. Shua is going to maybe leave them? I'm not sure what's going on.
He's trying
Is
to
going-
target
yeah.
from distance.
Is going to try to get the claw trap on them so they can benefit from the hindered status effect. Unfortunately, does actually get it at the last moment right before the window vault, which might have actually contributed to the fact that the hit has managed to happen. But we do see the last generator popping, meaning this is most likely, I believe Angel is going to be second stage here, yeah. This is most likely going to be the 2k7 here for sure, without perks on Skull Merchant. Oh, never mind, Angel is actually going to get unhooked rather quickly. We might, however, get the hook on Pew instead. I don't know if Pew was hooked before, actually. So this might actually be pretty good here.
Both gates are very close together, so so even if Angel can open the gate by the main building, it's not gonna be able to open it in time.
No! And Steve did want to go for the body block, but has left instead. Wait, he can get both! He has the Mori, he has the Mori! He's not crawling, he's not crawling! Steve menacingly approaching from the back. He might still get out with the heal tag, but otherwise, yeah, no, he's going to get out, right? No! They do not heal tag! He gets the pickup on Pew and is going to get a 3k10 here as the perkless Skull Merchant.
Wow.
Okay, that was that short show match. Huh?
Not unless though, he lied.
Oh no. Anyway, that was it with today's match. We're going to see each other again on Friday. We have 2 more matches planned then, which will be, let me quickly check, the unpronounceable team that has Sir Pickle, Marcos, Zaka in it versus Reliance. The actual team name is Kilokman Ninsoyutu Padre. As well as a match shortly afterwards is Izalith vs Divine Dead, both of which are going to be on Friday, so we hope to see you then. I am just going to start a quick raid. I guess the only person I am following is Iconic, so I guess I'll send you all over to Iconic. Unless Wumi has anybody else who's streaming. Oh yeah. Goodbye, thank you very much for watching, hope to see you on Friday.
Goodbye.